What if Earth drifted into deep space?
We need these!
You look up, and something is wrong. The sun is still there, but it feels weaker, farther, colder. The daylight fades too fast, and the stars seem sharper than they should be. Then the truth hits you. Earth is drifting away from the sun and sliding into deep space. Less light, less warmth, less life. At first, people think it is just weather, but it is not weather. It is the planet moving into a colder region where sunlight is no longer enough to keep temperatures stable. As the heat drops, the atmosphere begins to react, and the balance that supports life starts to break down. Night falls, and it does not feel normal. The temperature drops faster than anyone expects. Without enough sunlight reaching Earth, the ground, the oceans, and the air all begin losing heat. The sun is our main source of energy, and once that energy weakens, everything starts to change. People panic when they realize the cold is not temporary. Cities rush for supplies. Homes seal shut. Emergency systems begin failing under pressure. This is what happens when a planet loses its energy source. Food production slows. Transport weakens. Daily life collapses from the bottom up. The oceans are the last big heat reservoir, but even they cannot hold on forever. As Earth keeps drifting, the water cools, storms weaken, and ice starts forming in places where it should never appear this fast. Water stores heat better than land, so once the oceans start freezing, the collapse speeds up. Some cities survive longer because of power, fuel, and heated systems, but even those places are only delaying the problem. Earth does not warm itself. It borrows heat from the sun, and if that supply fades, every human shelter becomes a temporary bubble in a dying climate. The farms go quiet. Crops stop growing, because plants depend on sunlight for photosynthesis. Without enough light and warmth, food production drops fast. So now the crisis is no longer just about temperature. It becomes a crisis of survival. As the cold deepens, animals migrate or die, and the surface begins to empty out. The planet is still there, but it is becoming harder and harder for life to survive on it. Deep space is not dangerous because of monsters. It is dangerous because it is empty, cold, and unforgiving. People move underground, into bunkers, tunnels, and shielded facilities. That buys time, but not forever. Heat, oxygen, and food all need support systems, and those systems depend on power. Once the planet stops offering natural comfort, humans are forced to build their own tiny version of Earth. Now the stars become the only sky you know. Earth keeps drifting farther from the warmth that made it home. The farther the planet goes, the colder and darker everything becomes. That is the horror of deep space. Not fire, not explosions, but absence. Fuel runs low. Delivery systems collapse. Machines begin failing in the cold. The world becomes a collection of isolated survival zones instead of a working civilization. Modern life depends on energy, and energy becomes harder to produce when the environment itself turns hostile. The oceans lock up. Rivers stop moving. The air becomes sharp and brutal. Once freezing temperatures spread far enough, The planet stops behaving like a living world and starts behaving like a frozen object drifting through empty space. Only a few survivors remain, hidden in underground shelters or heavily powered stations. They are not living normally anymore. They are managing heat, rationing food, and waiting for systems to fail. When Earth leaves the sun behind, survival is no longer about comfort. It is about resisting extinction 1 hour at a time. From space, Earth becomes a dark, frozen sphere moving through the void. No storms, no cities, no life visible from the outside. Just a cold world with a few stubborn humans still clinging to warmth below the surface. And that is the real horror. Earth did not explode. It did not get destroyed by an enemy. It simply drifted away from the thing that made it alive. That is what makes deep space so terrifying. Not violence, but absence.